All right, we just watched The Mummy's Curse. And what did you guys think?
I liked it. It was good, pretty good.
Yeah? You covered your eyes a lot. It's okay, bud. What did you think, Serena?
I loved it.
You loved it. Why did you love it? It was so scary.
Because the mommy took the girl.
The mummy took the girl?
Yeah.
And you loved that?
What the heck?
What did you think, Evie? Did you like it?
I like it.
Oh, good job. And this little guy was asleep the whole time. Well, asleep or yelling. What was your favorite, Ezra?
Bloody murder.
Bloody murder of who?
Bloody strangle murder.
Of who?
Everyone.
Oh, okay. All this.
Everyone who got bloody strangle murdered.
Okay, so his favorite part, 7-year-old, is everyone who got bloody strangle murdered. Okay. All right, Serena, what was your favorite?
Oh, anyone.
The mommy.
The mummy?
Yeah.
Yeah, the mummy was scary, huh? He was a monster. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you guys for watching it with me. Sorry it was a little scary and we had to cover our eyes sometimes, huh?
Not.
Yeah, Ezra, you realized it wasn't scary, huh?
Could we do the mummy's ghost now?
Okay, cool. Well, thanks for
Can we
for
do
watching
the
with me,
mummy's-
kids.
Thanks.
Nice
You're
to.
welcome. Can we do the mummy's ghost now?
You want to watch more, eh?
Yeah.
All right, welcome back for another Monster Movie Every Day for October 2022. For October 22nd, we have The Mummy's Curse from 1944. This is story number 4 in a 4-part story, starting with the mummy's hand, then the mummy's tomb, then the mummy's ghost, then the mummy's curse. On Blu-ray. Also, look at this. All right, so like the other mummy movies, this one is extremely short. Look at this. It is an hour and 16 seconds. Not an hour and 16 minutes, an hour and 16 seconds. All right, this movie gets its money's worth out of the flashback to the other movies because I think it's like 18 minutes in or something. There's quite a bit of this movie that is a flashback of the last couple movies. All right, a couple things about the kills in this movie. First of all, did you see the dust pop off of that guy's neck when he got hit? Also, listen to this. You hear all that like struggling and gagging and gulping and stuff? So this movie, it seems like, because it's always the one hand to just like strangle you for like 3 seconds and then you're dead. It seems like this movie in particular, like their strangulation deaths are like gaggier and chokier and louder and kind of scarier, which is awesome because this is the one I decided to show to all my children. So good job, Dad. I had them cover their eyes, but they got to hear all the gagging and coughing. Good job. Okay, so remember that innocent girl that got taken by the mummy into the swamp in the last movie? Well, she's still in the swamp. And the way she comes out of the swamp is actually really terrifying and awesome. She comes out of the mud, and I think it takes her about 15 minutes to get fully stood up. But look at this. She just full on comes out of the mud. Look at that. She struggles for a really long time. But yeah, this is totally that girl, like this innocent girl that totally just had this horrible thing happen. But she does a super good job in this movie, not just in her like creepy mummy stuff, but when she comes back and she's like trying to figure out who she is, she's a really good actress in this movie. Okay, and of course, because she came out of the mud, then you've got some more ancient priest people that start giving the leaf juice to the mummy and wake him up. And then, of course, once he's awake, he wants to find this broad. But for the first, 34 minutes of the movie, she doesn't say anything. She just acts entirely with her eyes, and she does a really good job. This part was really fun to watch with my kids because I was yelling at the TV, run, get in the car. And then once he's in the car, I'm like, step on the gas, go. And they all got really into it with me. So that was a fun part to be watching with the kids. So this is the first time she talks, and it's actually really sad because she was about to get married literally on the day that the mummy took her in the last movie. And she She's been like in the swamp for like years, and she can't remember who she is. Look at this.
I cannot remember who I am or what I'm doing here.
Okay, so then they leave her to rest because that's how you get better in olden time movies is you rest. But look at her eyes, the way she acts with her eyes. It's really impressive. I think one of the best eye actors around is Mel Gibson. But look at this. She's just like laying there being like super freaked out. And you can hardly see it. I mean, that's in the bottom corner of this big old frame. All right. So she gets like possessed and of course starts going towards the mummy, but this dude shakes her really hard on this part.
Here, what are you saying?
It's a little rough. This movie did a really good job of adding to the total sense of dread because these people are staying in tents in this area and the mummy's coming to get her. And so you just do not feel like anybody's safe, and they're not safe. People die in this movie. And just like the other monster movies, this one does awesome stuff with shadows. And then you've got this doctor trying to stand up to the mummy and gets it in the face like they all do. And gets killed in shadow like kind of they all do. All right, speaking of shadows, they love to do the shadows through the tent. Kind of like the Velociraptor scene in Jurassic Park. But look at that. Yeah. That's just what you want to see when you're camping. All right, they're doing the thing. They're doing the pose. I mean, her head could be back a little more, but I mean, like, that is the thing of these movies is the monster carrying a lady. Also, it kind of stresses me out because so Lon Chaney, he's like, if you look down at his feet, he's like limp. He's dragging one of his feet, and sometimes he has to like go upstairs and up hills and stuff. Like that would be super hard, and that makes my hips hurt looking at that. All right, so if this looks familiar, it's because it is. So once again, we've got the little stooge guy that boils the leaves for the mummy, and then they put the broad in the sarcophagus so they could give her the stuff and turn her back into a mummy and eternal mummy marriage or whatever. And then of course you've got all the good guys descending on this place, and everything's gonna go down in the last 5 minutes, as is the pattern of these things. All right, and as is often the case as well, you've got this guy who's also one of the sworn priest people who once again is tempted by a lady and decides to break his vows. And this part is super rapey. I mean, it's not, but that's what he's taken her there to do. And of course he gets in trouble with the other guy, and then he's like, if the mummy finds out, he's not going to like this. And then of course you've got bad guys killing bad guys. You got good guys showing up fighting bad guys. It's just like a kill fest in the last few minutes. Okay, so this guy kills his boss. Then she's got her hand up to her mouth because she's all scared. And then the guy in a little safari hat shows up. By the way, this is like the secretary to the place of the people that were draining the swamp that had the mummy in it. And this is like a research guy that was there to deal with mummy stuff. And apparently, you don't know this, but they're developing a relationship. But yeah, little safari hat fights this guy. You've got a cool little fight that goes on there, and then the mummy comes and handles stuff. Okay, then the bad guy, after getting knocked out from the safari hat guy, has a full-on Rizzo the Rat moment here where he, I can't fit. It's like, yeah, you could totally fit through there, you goober, or you could stick your leg through. It's just like, come on, guy. All right, and right when he's about to brain the good guy, the mummy stops him because he's so mad that he betrayed him. All right, and as is always the case, this whole building is about to come down because the mummy's breaking through the wall. Here you go. So the mummy's getting buried under this monastery. And of course, we know that getting buried in these movies, if you're a monster, is not a permanent state of affairs. All right, I'm not going to lie. This part super bummed me out. I was really hoping that the little girl the lady that was buried in the swamp and seemed to be normal again. I was really hoping that she would survive and get to have a normal life. But no, she's totally mummy time now. She took the juice and she's in the sarcophagus, so presumably she's a mummy now. Yeah, that was really sad. Her story's really sad. I was really hoping that she would get it away. But just so you can feel good that you're on your date in the 40s watching this movie, these two young people have suddenly developed chemistry for each other in the last 1 minute of the movie. They have shared a couple scenes and lines, but I mean, anyway, they pretty much live happily ever after now. Yep, there they are, walking off together. All right, so that ties up the 4-movie arc of those Mummy movies, and they definitely just buried the Mummy, which leaves it open for just unburying him for a sequel. But there's, as far as I know, I don't think there's a sequel to this one. So as far as the Blu-ray goes, it looks okay. It sounds okay. Nothing crazy. I didn't notice any major damage to it. The restoration seems pretty good. As far as how it stacks up against the other Mummy movies, I think it's those two young people having no chemistry at the end is kind of dumb. And then the girl not living is pretty sad, but all the mummy killings were pretty cool. So it's kind of in middle of the road kind of movie as far as fitting with all the monster movies. Sorry, I just can't let it go. But speaking of that girl not living and her being like innocent and having a total crappy thing happen to her, kind of just reminds me of Prometheus and Alien Covenant and what happens to the girl in Alien Covenant. That super pissed me off. Okay, well, this has been The Mummy's Curse from 1944 for October 22nd. Now, the next one for October 23rd is going to be House of Dracula from 1945. So it's another like Avengers-style movie. So hopefully it's better than House of Frankenstein. Thanks for watching. Like and comment and stuff. Okay, bye.